So something a lot of people quickly find out about me is that I'm pretty good at Japanese. I wouldn't say fluent, but I'm pretty good at it. And so usually people follow up with a question like, "Oh, how'd you learn?" And I tell them, "Oh, I kind of just got it, but I also took a few classes." And they're like, "Oh, well, I want to take a few classes." And I tell them no, okay? Because my experience with Japanese classes is that they are the worst kind of classes, okay? Not the teaching. The professors are great. The senseis, they're really good at teaching Japanese language. But the students, that's where it gets bad. I want you to imagine your high school anime club. That is Japanese class 10 times worse, okay? So like my first day in Japanese class, I walked in, I was one of the first students there. There was two girls, and I sat in the desk in the middle of them because, I didn't want to sit next to the boys. And with good reason, because next thing I know, I look over to the boys across the room, and they're whispering or talking to each other. It's really loud though, and they're talking about like, I'll just I'll play out the scenario for you. One of them looks at the other, and he's just like, okay, so today's my arc, and then tomorrow's gonna be like Ryan's episode. These guys were talking about being in their own anime, and I was just like, oh god. I got flashbacks. Of freaking anime club in high school, because my senior year in English class, my last period, when the period would end, anime club would rush in, and I would see all that. So like I started getting flashbacks. I was like, oh no, oh god, oh no, I don't want to be in this class. Oh god, oh no. But I was like, wait, it's just those four kids. It's just those four kids. And then suddenly I smell an aroma of cheese, rotten cheese, and I'm like, oh, what is that? And I turn behind me, and I see like three obese dudes. There's nothing wrong about being obese, but when you smell like cheese, there's something wrong about being obese. And these guys are talking, and I'm like, oh, what are these guys talking about? And what I heard it really freaked me out. The guy was just like, oh, so I've been into reading S&M manga. And I was like, what did he just say? And the guy's like, oh, yeah, I'm more of a masochist myself. What are you, an S? And the guy's like, yeah, I'm an S, but I like the M stuff too. And I'm like, oh my god, these guys are straight up talking about hentai in the middle of class right now. And I'm just like, oh god. So at this point, it's already 5 minutes in before class starts. And so all the kids starts rushing in, all the students, they start rushing in. They're kids. That's why I said kids earlier. So, and they all start rushing in, I start seeing cosplay. I'm like, oh god, I see one guy come in, he's got like a full-on samurai hairstyle, and he's got freaking the character's love in kanji, oh my god, on his chest. It was just blatantly, he got an expo marker and wrote that on his chest, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta get out of this class fast. But, I had to stay. Until the end, because I already wasted my time driving to the college, so I was like, I might as well stay here. And quickly I found out that it was actually really helpful. But if I had to go back, I wouldn't do it, because the students really ruined that experience for me. That's the moral of the lesson. Never take a Japanese class with students. Take one, one-on-one by yourself. You'll learn a lot more, yeah. I myself learned Japanese basically by talking to Japanese people. I got those one-on-one tutoring sessions. Yeah, I learned a lot from the class, but I feel like I could have learned a lot more just one-on-one talking with somebody and then figuring it out like that. So I would just say, get a book, read it, study it, don't go to the class. Unless, you're into that kind of stuff, then I say go for it, because those students, they really had fun talking to each other. I even heard a lot of them say like, oh, this is my funnest class in college. So there you go. That's the moral of the story.